right. Yo. Jess Hilarious.
Good morning.
Charlamagne the God.
Peace to the planet. Guess what day it is? Hump day. Good morning. How y'all feel out there? I feel blessed, black, and highly favored. Happy to be here. Another day to serve our beautiful listeners. Good morning.
That's right. Good morning. Wednesday, middle of the week. How you feeling, Jess?
I feel good.
That's it.
That's it, y'all.
That's it. Just feel good.
That's all it
That's
takes.
what
What you mean? Tony made a whole song about it.
That's right.
Okay. That's all it takes.
Yeah,
That's
y'all
right.
know that song that I like. You're the one to be like, ooh.
I
wanna
wanna
sex you up.
sex
Yeah,
you up.
sure. That's my jam.
You
man.
young people, boy.
Jesus
you know what
Christ.
song I like? The national anthem. Oh, say, can you see? Yeah, sure. Everybody knows it sex you up.
Oh, my
Okay.
Whatever.
Did you just hear that song this morning or something?
No, I just really love
Just
it.
like that song?
Yes.
Okay. All right.
I tell you, old bop, you're like Aretha Franklin. A rose is still a rose.
Oh, yeah, I gotta
my
hear
God.
that.
You know, you never heard?
Nope.
Damn.
I know respect.
Oh, that's good. That's
Yeah.
older. That's older than a rose is still a rose.
Yes, it is.
Actually, yes.
All right. Well, we got some people joining us this morning. We got the champ coming, Claressa Shields. He's scheduled to fight Lanny Daniels on July 26th in Detroit. So we're going to kick it with Claressa.
Yep.
And
What if
also,
Pap coming here rapping with her?
I seen an interview with Claressa and Pap. They were both in the boxing gym, and they were talking to her, and Pap was there, and the guy was just like, yo, Pap, start rapping. And Pap just started rapping
he just
in the
did.
gym with Claressa. You make it, if you might miss her, don't try to diss her. And he just went
my
on.
God.
Pap was being Pap. So that's what Pap does. So if Pap does come with her, he's going to rap.
Okay.
All right. Also, Mikie Sherrill. Mikie Sherrill.
Mikey.
Yeah. Her name is like Nike, but Mikey.
Yes.
So Mikie Sherrill will be joining us.
Yeah,
she's
she's
U.S. representative for New Jersey's 11th Congressional District. And she's
Congresswoman in
running
Jersey. Yep.
for governor of New Jersey against Arce and a host of others. So we'll talk to her this morning as well. All right. Let's get the show cracking. We got front page news. More going to be joining us. And today would have been Notorious B.I.G.'s 53rd birthday. So can we play some Big to start the show?
This why age is a blessing.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? If you woke up this morning and you're enjoying a birthday and you 50 plus years old, you better embrace it because a lot of people didn't make it.
You ain't got the remix to it?
And that's still young, too.
They gotta have it.
Very
young.
They got it in? One more chance remix? Nah? Anyways, Notorious B.I.G. Happy birthday. He would have been 53. It's the Breakfast Club. We got front page news next.
And we're not going to get to the part when Biggie says sex and me while your man masturbates. And then Diddy goes,
Yeah.
It's like Biggie, like, Puff. That's not what I was talking about. You took it the wrong way.
Why did you
Should've
want to
played
get
it for
relate to
real.
that
Ass.
part? Stupid.
What part is that? That's in the third verse, right?
I don't remember.
Well, okay. Anyway. Morning, everybody. It's DJ NV, Jess Hilarious, Charlamagne the God. We are the Breakfast Club. Let's get in some front page news. All right. OKC destroyed the Timberwolves last night, 114-88. They lead the series 1-0. The Knicks actually play tonight. What up, Morgan?
Hey y'all, hey, good morning everybody.
Good
How y'all
morning, girl.
good? Y'all feeling good? All right.
Ma'am.
All right, let's get into it. First on front page, President Trump is calling for Republican lawmakers to pass his so-called Big Beautiful Bill. He attended a House Republican conference meeting on Capitol Hill yesterday in an effort to push that bill. Trump said progress is being made. I will say I was there when he addressed reporters during his visit at the Capitol, and here's what he had to say about that meeting. Let's take a listen.
Yeah, that was a meeting of love. Let me tell you, that was love in that room. There was no shouting. I think it was a meeting of love. There were a couple of things that we talked about specifically where some people felt a little bit one way or the other, not a big deal. And I covered them. It wasn't so much a speech. I covered certain points. So we're going to cut drug prices from 75 to 85, in some cases even more than that.
So Trump added there were a few concerns he helped clear up and thinks the legislation will move forward. Now, the bill cleared the GOP-led committee in the House on Sunday. I also attended a press conference or of sorts for GOP leaders. And here's what House Speaker Mike Johnson had to say about the legislation, the big, beautiful bill. Let's take a listen to Mike Johnson.
This is really simple. We're delivering. We're doing what we said we were going to do. When you talk about putting Americans first, we're making the largest investment in border security in over a generation, providing nearly $150 billion to secure our border and deport illegal aliens. We are cracking down on illegal aliens receiving Medicaid, Medicare, SNAP, and tax benefits that are intended for the citizens of this country. We're shifting the cost of adjudication in the immigration system from the American taxpayer to the aliens themselves.
So he went on to say that those cuts that we're hearing about in Medicaid and Medicare and SNAP, they're directly supposed to be impacting those immigrants or migrants who supposedly should not be receiving those. So Speaker Johnson and other GOP leaders, they also refused to take questions. That's why I said it was a press conference of sorts. But despite being rules that there are in place that they are supposed to take questions from reporters. So this adds to your case, CTG, that we may be in that post-constitutional society where our very own government is breaking its own rules when it's convenient for them, while also calling out and claiming those who are breaking rules on the other side.
Yeah, that's obvious. What about infrastructure for these airports? Because that's a disaster waiting to happen. I saw Secretary of Transportation Sean Duffy saying that the airports just need an overhaul when it comes to infrastructure. Is there any of that in the bill?
Yeah, I believe so. Absolutely. Supposedly there is something in the bill regarding infrastructure. I will say also no tax on tips is also headed to the House after it passed unanimously in the Senate yesterday. Now that bill establishes a new tax deduction for up to $25,000 for tips. Now, meanwhile, House Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries of New York, he contends the Rules Committee, which is scheduled, they took up the measure last night. They're looking to supposedly hide the debate. Let's take a listen to House Minority Leaders Hakeem Jeffries' comments in regards to this so-called big, beautiful bill.
The Republicans know that their efforts to take away health care from millions of Americans is deeply unpopular.
So, that pretty much covers that, you guys. We'll see what happens as a result. Again, they are going to continue working on getting this through for the remainder of the week, and they said that they want to have this done by Memorial Day. So we will see what happens as a result of that.
Why Hakeem acting like his stepdaddy Chuck Schumer don't support the bill, though? You can't just call out Republicans about the bill. You got to call out, your stepdaddy Chuck Schumer too, Hakeem. Okay? Chuck has already bowed down to Trump and agreed to vote for the bill. So,
all right, we'll clock that T then. All right, at 7, we'll talk about the Golden Dome that Trump wants for our defense here in America. We'll get into that at 7. Stick around.
All right, everybody else, get it off your chest. 800-585-1051. If you need to vent, phone lines are wide open. Again, 800-585-1051. It's The Breakfast Club. Good morning.
The Breakfast Club. This is your time to get it off your chest, whether you're mad or blessed.
I hate the way that you walk, the way that you talk. I hate the way that you dress. Everything with me is blessed.
Call up now, 800-585-1051.
Not just me, I'm with the culture feeling.
Hello, who's this?
Hey, this is Vince. How you doing? Good morning.
What's up, Vince? Good morning. Get it off your chest, brother.
Hey, so while we out here talking about Oily Boy, Diddy Boy, hey, why we not talking about Harvey Weinstein's retrial that's going on in New York right now?
Harvey Weinstein's on retrial? I didn't know he was on retrial.
Yeah, see, that's the thing. They're talking about that, but he on retrial right now.
I ain't know nothing about no retrial, but I know Harvey Weinstein in prison.
Well, he getting retried, and then whatever happened to the Epstein files.
The Epstein files? The Epstein files came out.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, whatever happened with all those people that was supposed to get in trouble. So we talking about Diddy, but the white people get a pass.
I don't know why we say the white people get a pass when Harvey Weinstein's in prison and Jeffrey Epstein died in jail.
Yeah, and Harvey Weinstein was found guilty.
I don't understand when we. Yes, sometimes there's not sometimes. Often there's a double standard, but in recent years, no. Harvey Weinstein is in prison right now. You just said he's on retrial, and Jeffrey Epstein died.
He died in prison. Yeah. I do have a question though. Something I gotta get off my chest. I'd be confused with Uber Eats. Right? Let me explain. You give a tip, then you got to pay a delivery fee.
Yeah.
And then a service fee.
Yeah, it's a lot.
So you get a delivery fee, ain't that a tip? Mm-hmm. And then a service fee a tip? Mm-hmm. And then you want a tip?
Hey, I'm confused. Hey, that was a hard left, bro. We went from rape to tips.
We just get it off our chest.
Like, I thought you was about to be at least in the ballpark of the conversation.
I'm just getting it off my chest.
What?
You can call me and some over your chest. I'm just confused.
It's a lot of fees.
At least say unrelated or, hey, man, let's change the subject something. You just...
I got a question.
Just get it off my chest. What? But you ain't help me.
No, it is. I mean, I don't work there, yo. I don't know. I just know that the service fee goes to DoorDash. They getting our money. Them drivers really don't make nothing.
So who get the delivery fee?
DoorDash.
How they get the delivery fee when somebody else delivers it?
It's America.
That is crazy. I mean, you know what's so funny? I saw Harvey Weinstein in the news and didn't even realize why he was in the news.
I seen him on the phone, but I thought it was
I saw him on the phone. I didn't realize he was having a retrial.
I thought he was damn near dying.
He in jail on the phone?
Yeah.
The jail phone.
Oh, okay.
He just not the hot topic.
No.
Sadly.
Hello, who's this?
Yo, this is Sean.
Sean, what up? Get it off your chest.
Yeah, man. First off, I wanted to call in. Y'all had this topic maybe a week ago about the 20-year age gap.
Yep.
Just want to shout out my wife. Hey, man, 12 years marriage, 20-year age gap.
How old are you?
Who's older?
You know what I'm saying? Oh, she older. I'm 33.
Oh, and she 53.
Man.
So y'all met when she was 43 and you was 23.
Yeah, we actually met in college.
Oh, she had went back to school?
Professor? Oh, she was your teacher?
She had went back to school?
No, she had went back to school. Actually, her and her daughter went back to school. And, she was like, oh, yeah, I don't play with kids. I'm like, I don't either. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you can. Now see, now that's a hard way to start a relationship off. I don't play with kids, but then you end up playing with them and marrying them.
Hey, you know what I'm saying?
But there they go.
Hey, you know, I was raised by my grandfather and, you know, RP my grandmother, you know, so grew up with an old soul, you know what I'm saying? So, shout out to all 5. I got 5 kids. Shout out to all of them.
Okay.
You have 5 kids with a 43-year-old?
Well, they mine, but they ain't mine.
Oh, I'm about to say, okay, got it.
Yeah.
So you came with a ready-made family. You just had to add water.
That's what's up.
Yeah.
Hey, yo.
Yeah, for sure. You know what I'm saying? Hey, all she needed was a little sunlight, you know what I mean?
You know what's so crazy? If the tables would have been turned and he was 43 and she was 23, you'd be like, that sounds
crazy. It would definitely be a big deal.
Crazy.
Hey, one more thing before I go. Like I say, our anniversary was yesterday, man. Like I said, I just want to shout out to my wife, man. Love you. Next thing, I've been in construction for a little minute, trying to promote my black-owned business. You can look me up. I'm online at ernelsolutions.com. I'm trying to, go the non-traditional route, no loans, based out of Florida.
Give everybody your information.
Right now, www.ernelsolutions.com. If you go on the website, just reach out, put down your information. Pretty much what we're doing, like I said, I've been in construction for a while. We're looking for property acquisitions to eventually get into the construction business. You know what I'm saying? So building that portfolio to kind of add to my experience. Any one of y'all also, if y'all want to reach out, help me with the funding, you can send it to T-Butterfly26 on Cash App.
T-Butterfly, that's your nickname?
Yeah, that's for my wife.
Oh, okay. All
right, brother.
Yeah, T-Butterfly26.
All right, well, peace, man. You and your cougar wife have a great anniversary, brother.
Get it off your chest. 800-585-1051. If you need to vent, hit us up now. It's The Breakfast Club. Good morning.
The Breakfast Club.
Wake up, wake up. Wake your ass.
This is your time to get it off your chest. Whether you're mad or blessed, we want to hear from you on The Breakfast Club.
Hello, who's this?
Good morning, it's Krista.
What's up, Krista?
How y'all doing? I've been trying to call for like weeks now. My God.
What happened?
What's up, Krista?
Well, the line's been busy.
Sorry.
Well, we glad you finally got through.
Of course. Hope y'all doing okay. I just want to let Jess know that I did buy her tickets in Connecticut, so I will be in the first row. Unfortunately, I don't have anybody with me, so it's just going to be me there alone. So, but I'm coming to support, for sure.
It's all good. You're going to laugh by yourself either way. It's fine. It's cool.
Exactly. I need that.
Can't wait to see you, girl.
All right. Well, I look forward to it. I hope you guys have a great day.
You too. Enjoy the show.
Okay. Bye, guys.
Now, where can people get tickets?
Foxwoods. I will be at Foxwoods this Friday in Mashantucket, Connecticut. JessHilariousOfficial.com. Get your tickets.
Hello, who's this?
Hey, what's up, man? My name is Chris.
What's up, Chris? Get it off your chest.
Yeah, what's up? I listen to you guys all the time. I watch you guys all the time on YouTube, but I just realized, a few days ago, you guys have, a huge picture of Diddy hanging up, behind the guests every time you guys have interviews, and it just looks kind of bad.
That's not a picture. What it is our guy, Justin Richburg, did art. So he did art for the whole wall. So all the pictures in here are moments that happened on The Breakfast Club. We didn't know that Diddy was going to turn out to, end up getting a RICO charge for all of the things he got a RICO charge for, sir. And it's not just Diddy. There's a lot of people on this wall, who've got accusations and allegations and charges. It's history.
What you think about it? We did kind of know that Diddy was going to be going.
Yeah, what you want us to do is history. Nothing we can do about that.
Yeah.
I mean, you could definitely cover it up, but like, you know what I'm saying? Poor Ed Sheeran. You know what I'm saying?
I don't think we need to cover it up.
It doesn't take back the history that he's been up here on the Breakfast Club.
Yeah, you can't erase who people were. They still did what they did.
He ain't do nothing to Ed Sheeran.
Yeah. I mean, I feel you, I guess.
Shut up, man.
All right, man. Have a good one, man.
You too.
All right, get it off your chest. 800-585.
Actually, you know, the reason you shouldn't cover stuff like that up is because you should look, and it should always be teachable moments for people. You know what I'm saying? All of this is a learning lesson. If you actually, are be aware of what a person has done.
That's right.
Yeah.
All right, well, we got the latest with Loren. What up, Loren?
Hey, good morning. Yes, we do got the latest with Loren coming up, and it's a lot. Where you want to start?
The Breakfast.
Demanding allegedly $20K from Cassie's mom.
Damn.
Yeah.
Kid Cudi taking a stand.
Damn.
We learned about freezer meat and a guy named the Punisher.
Damn,
Oh my
damn.
God.
It's the hardest it can get, is what he said.
Damn. He had me in the freezer. I ain't hear that one now. You got to put me on the game.
All right. We'll get into that next. I heard you on Angie Moore yesterday, too.
Yeah, I was just in here. Y'all know I still be at work all day. I was just in here, and they came over and was like, hey, come over. I was like, okay. And I walked in. She was like, Diddy. I was like, oh, okay.
I had a long break about that. I was intrigued.
Yeah.
I was intrigued.
Oh,
All
good.
right. You on the court today?
I am going to court today. And I'll be there the whole day. I do not like leaving court because I don't like having to trust of what other people are saying happened.
Okay. All right. Well, we'll get to the latest with Loren next. It's the Breakfast Club. Good morning.
The Breakfast Club.
Morning, everybody. It's DJ NV, Jess Hilarious, Charlamagne the Guy. We are the Breakfast Club. Let's get to the latest with Loren.
Lauren be coming with straight facts.
She gets them from somebody that knows somebody.
She gets the details.
I'm the homegirl that knows a little bit about everything.
She be having the latest on you.
The latest with Lauren LoRosa.
Sometimes she have facts, sometimes she have details, sometimes she have a little bit of everything.
Well, it's the latest.
On the Breakfast Club.
Talk to me.
Now, yesterday in court, Cassie's mom took the stand. Her name is Regina Ventura, and she got on the stand and said, she got on the stand and alleged that Diddy demanded $20,000 from her and her husband, which they paid at a drop of a dime, because he was upset that Cassie was dating Kid Cudi. Now, her testimony was very short and to the point. The prosecutors asked her a few questions about, just her relationship, the background when she met him. And she said, my daughter was his artist, and then it progressed into her dating him. She moved to LA, and we would only see her certain times. She then began to talk about how, those certain times would be Cassie coming home for the holidays. She went into one holiday where Cassie came home in December. Cassie came home, and this was after she had called Cassie before and been like, hey, I'm reading these blind items online that are saying that, that are alleging that Diddy's putting his hands on you, that you got beat up in the back of a car. What's going on? And Cassie said, no, Mom, that's not me. That's not us. That didn't happen. But Cassie came home this one Christmas, and she had marks on her body. And they then had to sit down and have a conversation about the physical abuse that Cassie was experiencing. In that moment, her mom said that they took pictures. Mind you, we had seen these pictures in the court because they talked about it with Cassie when she was on the stand. But her mom came and added some more context as to why they took pictures of the bruises. And her mom said it was simply because we wanted to memorialize the moment. We wanted to basically have... I know that this is happening. Have proof that it's happening. Exactly. Then she talked about Kid Cudi. The mom, Cassie's mom, talked about Kid Cudi coming to her home and visiting her, being there for a few days. But then they got to the $20K, and the mom said Diddy was upset. He reached out and allegedly told her, "Look, I just spent $20,000 on Cassie, and now she's dating Kid Cudi, and I need to recoup my money. So y'all send me this money." And this was after they had gotten this email that Cassie had sent. They, as in Cassie's parents, detailing the fact that Diddy had these sex tapes allegedly that he threatened Cassie to release, and he had threatened her that something was going to happen to her and Kid Cudi, and that his hands weren't going to be, it wasn't going to come from his hands. He would actually be out of the country. Cassie sent that email to her mom because, again, I think she just wanted some record of it because she was, she was scared allegedly. Her mom was like, okay, so we get told about these sex tapes that caught me off guard, and all this stuff is catching me off guard. And then he calls talking about, allegedly he calls talking about this $20,000 demand. She said they went and took out a home equity loan, paid the $20,000, and the prosecutor said, well, why did you guys pay it? Why did you? And she said, we were scared for our daughter's lives. So they paid the money. 4 to 5 days later, before that, let me back up. The prosecutor then asked her, well, how did you even know how to pay the money and who to pay it to? She says Cassie's mom alleges that one of Diddy's bookkeepers sent an email with all of the information of how to wire it to him. They sent it. 4 to 5 days later, the money came back. No conversation, no nothing. They never spoke to him about it.
That's one of the specific things in the lawsuit. They said that he was using sex tapes and sexual images to blackmail.
Yes.
Cassie.
And
other people.
Now I think, they should have known before, but now I guess people can understand why Cassie and Cassie's family is going so hard. If you call me my daughter and say you got my daughter's sex tape and I'm going to release it for $20,000 and you're a $100 millionaire.
And I had to take out a home loan?
I had to take home a home loan to pay that.
Straight power.
Because you had the money. You didn't need the money. You did it because you just wanted to make me do it.
Exactly.
I'm going to try to bury you. If not, try to hurt you myself.
No, let me tell you, talking about hurt you myself. Her mom then talked about another incident where they flew into LA for Cassie's 30th birthday. And this was Cassie's birthday is in August. So she was like, it's August. We fly in LA for Cassie's birthday. It's her 30th. So, they're excited. That's their baby. They get there and Diddy and Cassie allegedly are already going through their things, and there's an incident that goes down where Diddy takes Cassie's phone allegedly, and her mom, Cassie tells her mom, and her mom is trying to get the phone back. So they're outside of Cassie's apartment. Cassie's mother, Diddy, and allegedly D-Rock arguing. Cassie's mom said, I was yelling at him. I was trying to hit him. The only reason she alleged she couldn't get to him is because D-Rock was in the middle of them. So now you have this older woman outside trying to fight you to get her baby's phone back, allegedly, right? D-Rock's in the middle. She said, Cassie's mom says that Diddy did not give the phone back, but he did give the phone back, but when he left with Cassie's car, allegedly. It was a Jaguar car that he left with, and the prosecutor's like, well, how did you know that he left with the car? She said, I saw it drive off. So then that goes back to a lot of what Cassie was saying on stand originally, like he controlled everything. He would take things when he got upset, allegedly. He would do different things. So she kind of had to do her job, as she kept mentioning.
And what about Kid Cudi? I heard Kid Cudi's taking a stand.
Kid Cudi is taking a stand. I want to say before we get to Kid Cudi, Cassie's mother was the first witness that Diddy's team did not cross. They didn't ask her no questions. The lawyer stood up, introduced himself, and said, I have no questions for you. That was the first time we ever seen that in court. Because what you going to say to that woman?
Nothing.
Exactly. Now, Kid Cudi. Yes. So
man on the stand.
Yesterday, at the end, they started to talk about the rest of the week, and they said that Kid Cudi will be in court this week. They said that today, Wednesday, if they were able to, they would get to Kid Cudi, and he would be testifying. But from what I'm told, the way the testimonies are going to be set up today, they don't really think that they'll get to him today, that it's actually supposed to be Thursday, which is going to be he's a huge witness as well too, because he's going to speak to, of course, a lot of the abuse arson. Again, but the arson, the card stuff,
but also the conversation that they had at that dinner.
The alleged conversation they had at that restaurant, and they is Cassie, Diddy, and Kid Cudi, because Cassie alleged that Diddy came and sat them all down and said, I don't like what's going on here, basically, and y'all need what's happening. Fill me in, because he felt away. Diddy's team is alleging that he did that because he felt away, because he put them in the studio together, and then they started dating. Cassie's like, regardless of the situation, it was threatening, and he mentioned that he was going to do things allegedly to Kid Cudi and to her. The car came into conversation, and at that dinner, Cassie alleges that Kid Cudi said to Diddy, well, what about my car? And Diddy said, what car are you talking about?
Yeah, but people who don't know, Diddy allegedly blew his car up.
Yes. Oh, sorry, I forgot. That's a major point to say. Yes. Yeah, because he allegedly blew his car up.
What about my car?
Jesus.
Yeah.
That's going to be big, man, because, Diddy allegedly threatened to kill him, went to his house with a loaded gun, and that's going to be a really interesting part of the trial, because it'll probably start with Cudi, and then there'll be another witness who used to work for Diddy. He'll probably come in and confirm a lot of Cudi's testimony.
Yeah. Now, what about Big Punisher, that his penis couldn't get hard and he had to...
First of all, you need to watch how you say that, because people won't think you're talking about the rapper.
Oh, there's a rapper named Big Punisher?
Yes. Rapper passed away.
Big Punisher?
Big Pun passed away 30 years ago.
And Diddy been freaking off for 30 years.
I didn't know that
allegedly.
Big Pun's full name was Big Punisher.
Exactly.
I never knew that.
So say the guy's name.
His name is The Punisher. His actual name is, let me look it up. It's like Sherrill. It's Sherrill Hayes. He's actually from New York, and he wrote a book called In Search of Freezer Meat. But we'll have to get to that in the next hour, because
the name of his called what?
In Search of Freezer Meat.
So hold on. Hold on.
Yo,
before we move, just tell, were they cutting off penises and freezing them, or just?
No, he leans into freezer and meat, because he said, if it's frozen, that's the hardest it can get. And the book is about mental health and how erectile dysfunction can play into your mental health.
What that got to do with pork loins, though, and tenderloins, and chicken and thigh breath in the freezer?
And searching for them.
Well, it was. Did he say he couldn't get erect during the freak off, and they never called him back?
They called him back a couple times. We're gonna get.
Okay.
Listen,
so he wrote a book about that.
He wrote a book about it. We're gonna get.
Remember in the first
Okay.
Okay. Crazy.
Okay.
Envy.
Putting meat in the freezer to make it hard as it can get is insane.
Not Envy got a book bestie.
I don't ever want to be that horny. Why are people so horny?
You're the only one.
That's crazy.
The only one.
Freezer meat.
Loving this.
He is.
You're trying to figure it out, honey.
I'll find out next hour. Surprise.
Yeah, and we're going to start organizing the witnesses under the charges because now it's starting to all lay out, and I want us to put it in places.
All right.
Yeah,
Also, when you
surprise me next hour with some frozen mystery meat.
and also when we come back next hour, you tell us who's testifying today. Who's going to be in court today?
Yes, and why would you look at Envy when you said that about a mystery meat?
He said
There's no mystery
me.
about Envy's meat.
Like,
okay,
shut up.
we know where it's been.
I know that's right.
If
Like,
somebody
I
called
don't
me
mind
to the
it.
stand, I got some stories to tell. Okay,
You better be quiet. You better watch out.
We bet you do.
All right. When we come back, we got front page news, and then the champ will be joining us. Claressa Shields is the Breakfast Club. Good morning.
You're checking out The Breakfast Club.
Morning, everybody. It's DJ NV, Jess Hilarious, Charlamagne the Guy. We are the Breakfast Club. Let's get in some front page news. Let's start with the NBA playoffs last night. OKC beat the Timberwolves 114-88. They lead the series 1-0. The Knicks play tonight at 8 p.m. All right. What's up, Morgan?
All right, let's get back into it. So President Trump wants the U.S. to have a Golden Dome defense system up and running in about 3 years. This would be similar to Israel's Iron Dome, which is an all-weather air defense system that intercepts and destroys short-range missiles and artillery shells. Now, he outlined his plans for the missile defense system in an announcement from the Oval Office at the White House alongside Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth, saying Canada also wants to be involved and the system will provide great protection. Let's take a listen to President Trump's comments.
Once fully constructed, the Golden Dome will be capable of intercepting missiles even if they are launched from other sides of the world and even if they are launched from space. Canada has called us and they want to be a part of it, so we'll be talking to them. They want to have protection also. So as usual, we help Canada do the best we can.
So the Golden Dome is the president's vision for a cutting-edge missile shield that can protect the U.S. from long-range strikes. Now, Trump said the final price tag for the system will be about $175 billion. The president is appointing Space Force General Michael Gutlein to lead the project. Now, Space News reports that estimated cost around $175 billion, while a $25 billion down payment is included in that Republican reconciliation spending bill. You know, that big, beautiful bill that we keep talking about. So there's a $25 billion down payment included for this project in that bill. And it also remains unclear how the project will be fully funded and whether or not it will actually pass Congress, that big, beautiful bill. Now, Reuters reports the U.S. government is exploring different ways to finance the project, including potentially through a subscription service model. So I'll keep you guys posted on what is projected to happen with our Golden Dome here in the U.S.
That doesn't sound too bad to me. I mean, Israel has it and it protects them from any type of missiles or explosions, anything. So I feel like we should have had that already.
As I always say, if you can tell people how you're going to put some money in their pocket and keep them safe, they're going to always be on board. So, you know, you're talking about something that's going to keep American people safe. I don't think you're going to get too much pushback on that.
Not at all.
All right. As we approach the 5th anniversary of George Floyd's death, there's been some conversation around pardoning former Minneapolis police officer Derek Chauvin. Now, Elon Musk reposted a podcaster suggesting the pardon, saying it's something to think about. Minneapolis Police Chief Brian O'Hara says he heard nothing to suggest that President Trump plans to pardon former officer Derek Chauvin, who's in prison for the Memorial Day 2020 murder of George Floyd. Now, O'Hara told a news conference on Monday that the topic came up when he was in Washington, D.C. recently. He also said preparations for the possibility of civil unrest shouldn't be misunderstood. Let's take a listen to his comments.
I've literally had police chiefs from around the country ask me that question. And I'll tell you what I've told them. There is absolutely no credible information we have to suggest that's going to happen. We've been in communication with our partners at the state, at the federal level, to ensure that we and all of our partners are prepared in the event that something like that happens and it causes some type of civil disturbance.
Pardon Derek Chauvin, then it'll be civil unrest, and then they'll unleash martial law. You know, don't fall for that okie doke. By the way, I don't think that this is something that they're really considering. I think that this is Elon Musk's way of trolling. I think this is a lot of people on social media's way of trolling. They know that it's going to, you know, cause chaos and cause people to be up in arms when they see that. I don't think that's something they'll ever do. I don't put anything past this administration, but I don't think that's something they'll ever do.
Mm-hmm.
Well, everyone saw the video, and even at the time, President Trump, you know, he mentioned that was wrong. I mean, everyone saw that was wrong. So Floyd, of course, was killed after Chauvin and one of several officers on the scene that day. He knelt on his neck and back while trying to arrest him on suspicion of using a counterfeit $20 bill. And while we're on the topic of George
Rest
Floyd,
in peace, George Floyd.
Yeah, say his name. While we're on the topic of George Floyd, the National Urban League released its latest report titled George Floyd 5 Years Later, Was It a Moment or a Movement? Now, National Urban League President and CEO Mark Muriel was in Washington, D.C. recently for the organization's legislative conference, saying the report explains the analysis of wins, setbacks, and the work that still needs to be done to combat systemic racism and deep-rooted inequities. Let's take a listen to Mark Muriel from the National Urban League.
When it comes to police reform and public safety, many states, many cities, police departments, the Justice Department, advocates advocated long and hard for meaningful change, but that change is incomplete and not permanent. It's now the forces seek to turn it back.
So Muriel urged people to get involved with civil rights organizations and to hold their elected officials accountable from everything from the local level to the federal level. And of course, he went on to say that this right now is not the time to be scared, but to pretty much pull up your bootstraps. And I'll take it a step further and quote the late, great Congressman John Lewis. I like to say, get in good trouble, necessary trouble, and restore the soul of America.
Yeah, I would say that it was a moment, you know what I mean? Because one of the biggest things to come out of that moment was all the pledges that corporate America made. Remember, corporate America said they were going to make $50 billion, you know, pledge $50 billion to racial inequality. They didn't. You know what I mean? They didn't. And a lot of those DEI initiatives have, you know, been rolled back, you know, since the Trump administration has been in. So I would say it was just a moment. It wasn't a movement. It could have been a movement if those pledges would have been honored, but no, it was a moment.
What do you think it takes to make a movement, to actually truly unite people and actually have a movement? I mean, MAGA seems like a movement, or at least that's what Mark Muriel said. He said MAGA is, in fact, a movement.
Well, MAGA is a movement because they got actual wins. You know, Trump is back in the White House. Project 2025 is being implemented. So these things that they actually, you know, promised to people, they're actually in office in doing. Like I said, it would have been a movement if those corporations, and this is just my personal opinion, I'm not, you know, I'm not the end all be all on this, but if those corporations had actually pledged that $50 billion, you know, to different initiatives to you know, help to stop racial inequality, I think that would have made it a movement. My personal opinion. But the fact that they didn't and DEI initiatives got rolled back, no.
Right, just the moment then. All right, so that's your front page news, y'all. Y'all can follow me on socials at Morgan Media for more news coverage. Follow at Black Information Network. Download the free iHeartRadio app. Visit us at BINnews.com and make it a great Wednesday. Talk to y'all later.
All right.
Morgan.
Now, when we come back, Claressa Shields will be joining us. She's fighting Lainey Daniels on July 26th in Detroit, Michigan. And we're going to talk to Claressa next. The champ is here. It's The Breakfast Club. Good morning.
The Breakfast Club.
Morning, everybody. It's DJ NV, Jess Hilarious, Charlamagne the Guy. We are The Breakfast Club. We got a special guest in the building. The champ is here.
Yes, indeed.
Claressa Shields. Welcome.
What's
How
up,
you feeling?
girl?
I feel good. I'm happy to be here.
How you feeling? You got to fight July 26th.
Yes.
Little Caesars Arena in Detroit against Lanny Daniels.
Yeah, always excited to fight a girl, man. Always excited. Defend some more world championships. She got 2 belts.
Okay.
She's from New Zealand. She's supposed to be tough, so I look forward to fighting her.
How do y'all pick the fights? Like, who helps you decide who your next opponent going to be?
We just go whoever the best is.
Okay.
And then if the best turns us down, we go to second best. And then if second best, we go third best. This fight, we went for Hannah Gabriels, the girl that dropped me in Detroit a couple years back. I wanted to rematch her, and she turned us down. So.
Do a lot of people turn you down? Like, is it hard for you to find an opponent?
Yeah, well, you know, I'm champ at 5 different weight classes. So when I was at 154 and 160 and 168, now I'm at 175. And when I was at 154, these girls who are fighting at 154 now wouldn't fight me. You know, I literally had to go up. It was like, okay, I challenged the girls who was at 147, but they didn't want to fight. I initially went down because I wanted to fight against the 147 champion, Cecilia Brockett, at the time. and she told me that I was too fat to get down to 54. So when I got to 54 and beat up all the girls at 54, I said, now it's your time. And she said, I'm not. She said she wasn't fighting me. So I was like, well, damn, that was a waste of time coming down to 154 because I barely made that weight.
It's clear. Are you scared to lose?
These girls can't beat me. What I got to be scared of? These girls can't beat me, Charlamagne. Come on now.
Absolutely.
Come on now.
I mean, I know, but I just know a lot of fighters be wanting that perfect record, and if they do lose, they don't bounce back the same sometimes.
I don't know about them, but I know me. I think I train too hard and that I'm too gifted and I'm just mean in there. I mean, you know what it is. Like I'm just real mean. I'm real dominant. I'm very confident, and I know that I'm very hard to beat. If a girl can beat me, I will get on my knees and kiss her feet and tell her good job. That's how I know it's not gonna happen.
So do you study you study the people that you fight, like Lainey Daniels? Have you like gone down a rabbit hole of her highlights and stuff like that?
It doesn't take me long to watch the highlights. I watch the highlights and I watch a girl fight and I say, oh, okay, I know what I need to do with her. It doesn't take me long to watch it. But I do other research. You know, I go and watch interviews of her just talking. I go and look at news articles. I learn about her life. What was her childhood like? You know, what she been through in life. Like I go and do like deep, like
you study deeper than
research.
just fighting. What does that do for you in the ring? Like how does that?
The trash talk. You know, you gotta get in their head. You know, some of these girls, you want to piss them off. They be having a good game plan, but once you piss them off, the game plan go out the window. Like they just want to kill you. And I think that's what I did with Savannah Marshall. Like I went and did my research on her, and then I start trash talking to her. And then when we got face to face, and whenever I seen her, I just used to say stuff to her. And I know that what I would say will play over and over again in her head. And then when we fought, her coach and her game plan was to stand in the center of the ring and fight me, which was like, that's dumb. You 6'2". I'm 5'9". You should have been on your jab, at least to give you a better chance at winning. But she came out there trying to, you know, fight like she can knock me out, and almost got her ass knocked out.
Damn. I wanted to go back a little bit. Last time you came here, you were promoting your movie.
Yes.
And I didn't get it. None of us got a chance to see the movie because the movie didn't come out yet. And I seen the movie, and I wanted to talk about that, your childhood growing up a little bit, because we didn't discuss it last time because we didn't see the movie. So after being a champion that young for that long, nobody gave you endorsement deals. Nobody put you on the cover of those cereal companies. There was no money coming in. I'm sitting there like, this is crazy because you were a champ. And how did that happen? And how did you not hate the sport of boxing and say F this? Because you weren't even, like, the fact that you're winning and you still have to go back to Michigan and still have to go back to some of the places that you were is crazy. Especially when you see a lot of white girls getting all that money.
Honestly, I feel like back then, me being 17 years old, me being from Flint, Michigan, I was rough around the edges. You know, I'm more put together now. And I can say that back then, I didn't understand what the branding part of it was. You know, how they want you to talk. You seen in the movie, you know, how they want you to wear your hair, how they want you to dress, or how you supposed to dress. Like, what's the ideal American golden girl? For me, it was all about the accolades. It was like, yeah, you can have the makeup and the hair and look good, but if you can do all that and then you don't win the fights, then who cares? To me, winning has always been the number one thing to do. That had a part to play in it, and then also women's boxing being fairly new. There is no way possible to make women's boxing look good. Now, I know I make it look good now, but that's when I'm outside the ring. Inside the ring, you get what you get. You know, I come there, I have my hair braided, I come there in my wig to the actual fight. I have my dress on, I have my wig on, I have my makeup on. I go in the back room. Once we get to the back after the grand arrival, I'm wiping all the makeup off. I mean, wiping the edge control off, because the edge control is sweating and getting your eyes, and then I'll be taking the knee like Javante.
You know what I'm saying?
I'm
but
not doing that.
Trying to say that don't work though. That's not how it works.
Well, Javante, he didn't have edge control. He said it was grease. Edge control burn. I know from experience. You don't wear edge control to the gym to spar.
So that does happen.
Edge control. Now, I don't know about no grease now, but edge control, yes, it starts sweating in your eye. It burned like hell. So when I go in the back, I take everything off, to the lashes, to everything, the edge control, and then I get in the ring and I fight. But after the fight is over with, after I done went 10 rounds, sometime less, I be kind of bruised up sometime and sore. I still go and put my wig back on.
That's crazy.
I have my girls do my makeup. I put my clothes on, put my bodysuit on, put my heels on, and we go out and we party. And that is like the balance you have to find, but it's not an easy balance to have. Like, a lot of times I be wanting to go home, you know, and I be wanting to lay down, and I gotta ice my face and my body after fighting for 4 days, and then I can come back outside and look refreshed. But it's not always that simple. So I think it was hard to make back then, I didn't care about making boxing be pretty. It was like, look, this is what you get. You want a female boxer, this is what you get. You get muscles, you get grit, you get a hard punch, and you get me talking to these girls and telling them how bad I'm gonna beat them, and like that's what you get. But now I can manage it better because I think I'm better experienced now.
You know, I watched the fight inside, and I thought to myself, you know, because it shows so much of your personal life. What version of Claressa Shields do you think would have emerged without boxing?
I'd be in jail.
Damn.
That's flat out period. And I would say I would be in jail or dead because boxing helped me with my anger. And I'm 30 years old and I still deal with my anger now. But back then I was way meaner. I didn't have an understanding of why I had to go through things that I went through, why my upbringing was so tough. And I was angry about that. Boxing helped me relieve some of that anger. It helped me direct it towards something more positive. So I know without boxing, I would have been street fighting girls. They used to call me Bishop in my hood because they wanted me to sell drugs. Because I was the one I could go tell you, hey, he said give him this, and then run it back. But it was just like, for me, I was like, I didn't want that type of lifestyle. You know what I'm saying? But I know without boxing, that would have happened. Some people like say, you would have been pregnant, but I didn't even like my first boy till I was 15 years old. I didn't mean to say first boy because I didn't think it's a girl, but I didn't like anything till I was 15. I liked boxing. And then when I was 15, I realized that a boy was cute to me. And that's when I'm like, okay, so I guess I'm not gay. Cool.
You thought she was gay at first? Because
I just didn't like nothing.
Right.
I thought I was weird. I didn't think I was gay. I thought I was weird.
Well, that's normal though. 15, that's where your mind should be at. You shouldn't be thinking about no boys or no girls at 15. But
Shoot, all my friends have boyfriends since 11 and 10 years old.
Just over here beat up,
training, running to the gym, drinking water, eating healthy. Giving myself a 10 p.m. curfew to be in bed, 6 a.m. get up and go run to school. That was my life.
What happened to you, the coach and trainer? Do y'all still speak?
Yeah, me and Jason still speak.
Y'all still speak?
You know, it was just, we too much alike. You know, he taught me to be very strong and confident and don't take disrespect. And I guess all those rules apply except to him. And I think that was the problem.
Right,
you know, he always told me when somebody disrespect you, you check them right then and there. You don't wait till y'all go in somewhere quiet or like somebody disrespect you. You let them know like right then and there, like, hey, I don't like that. That wasn't cool. That was disrespectful. And you try to let them know, like, hey, it's consequences for being disrespectful. You know, it's consequences.
We're still kicking it with the champ, Claressa Shields. Jess?
Break down what happened exactly with Tasiki. Because I see, and Tasiki is from Baddies, for those who don't know, but that's Krishan's sister. But it's so many different rumors around it. People say you started it, and they say she started. I want to know what even happened. Because, you know, you're not on Baddies. You don't be over there with Zeus.
There you go.
So, like, how did that even start?
Her fans. This is the thing. I fight professionally. Who's more known for fighting, me or Tasiki? Let's be honest.
Professionally, you. For sure.
Fighting, period. I'm more known. I went to the Olympics twice.
Okay.
I'm known by millions for fighting.
But I'm saying you are a professional fighter, like you said first. That you're more known professionally for fighting.
So now that she's beating up girls on Baddies, her fans came to me. Oh, we think Tasiki can do this and do that. All I did was respond and let them know. I like that Tasiki is beating these girls up. You know, it's good for TV, but she can't beat me up. And that's where I think her problem came from. But all in all, I don't give a damn about Tasiki or nobody who think that she can do anything with me. She said that she needs to stop popping pills and all this other to get ready to fight me, and she got to train exactly how I train.
She behind the 8 ball. She got to do all that.
she's already lost in the sauce when it comes to even a fight with me, and that's inside the ring and outside the ring.
I want to see it. I'm not wishing that on you, Claressa, but I just want to see it. Like when I hear people just randomly talking to professional athletes online, like they can just beat them so easily. Yeah. I just want to. I need to see. I'm serious because I think we need to see the difference between a Claressa Shields and just you. You know,
that fighting on Zeus.
Right. Yeah.
So what do you mean? You want to see me in a street fight?
No, I want you to get some money for it, but I just want to.
No, I'm saying you want to see me fight without gloves.
Yeah,
no,
y'all
he must hate
this.
her
job.
Either way, you win,
right? Or you win.
No, this is a job. Like what are you talking about?
I would say with boxing, listen. First of all, the boxing gloves protect the fighters. It's the padding. I would never do bare knuckle boxing. I barely wanted to do MMA, which is 4-ounce gloves, but Charlamagne, I fight these girls with no gloves on. You must hate them. Wow, I can't believe you said that. Yeah. I'm sorry he said that, y'all. I'm apologize for him.
But didn't they tried to get you on Baddies, right?
Natalie wanted me to come.
Natalie wanted you to come.
To stay in her house and everything. And I told her, listen, I was all for it because I feel like it's cross-branding.
Yeah.
It's cross-branding. And I will more go on there on some, I like positive stuff.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I like.
Really?
Yeah, I like positive stuff.
Okay.
Like boxing is positive to me.
Okay.
But I would go on there more of like, I think the girls on Baddies, it's a lot of women on there who got like some trauma and need some healing, you know. And training and boxing helped me. I want to go on there to, these girls want to fight all the time. I don't understand if they fighting the whole time, who's getting to a bag?
Yeah.
That'd be my question for them. Like, who's actually getting to some money on there if all they doing is fighting? They can't go to the club, they can't go to dinner, they can't go to events because it's a fight that break out every time. Yeah. So for me, I was like, look, I will go on there and I want to be that eye opener of like, look, let's train, let's work out, let's release some stress, and maybe everything can go more smoothly. But then, of course, if it can't, glove up and put on headgear and some mouthpieces because girls getting their teeth knocked out, they getting eyes busted up.
For nothing.
I don't know how much they make.
No, I'm not even talking about like what they getting paid, but I'm just saying like for no, it's nothing. It's just a bunch of arguments and fighting. It's no objective, no true objective.
Yeah, you don't know who's right, who's wrong. I don't know, but like I said, I told Natalie that I will come on her show, but she got to have everybody sign a form that if I want them girls trying to be so intimidated that they team up and try to jump me. Now I got to whoop 4 in one day.
And then lawsuits come after that.
No, we gotta have them sign that. Listen, I'm not responsible for no damages, for no teeth, no eyes, none of that.
So did they sign it? Oh,
no, she said that she couldn't get it done. She said, she talked to Zeus, and since it's reality TV, she can't have them sign it. I said, well, I can't come. We ain't even talk about money or anything because once we didn't get past that, I just said, okay, cool.
And people be so scared to take an ass whipping, they might come at you with weapons and all types of
Nah, y'all got people talking about, listen, people that said that they gonna shoot me, stab me, all types of stuff.
I want to ask about, the last fight they said, at first they said there was some substance in your urine and then they came back and said that wasn't true. What happened with that instance?
Man, people was crazy. I don't know, man. Like it's just crazy work. I will tell you that I've never experienced something like that in my life. I don't smoke marijuana. I don't eat marijuana. I'm not even around people that smoke. I was thinking that it was the arena because I know that in the arena was smoky as ever. Whether that was with cigarette smoke, weed smoke, whatever.
Because it's legal in Michigan.
It's very legal.
Mm-hmm.
You can just go to the store and buy it. When I found out that it was in my system, first thing I did, because I was here in New Jersey and I was with Pap. When I got the news, I went straight to LabCorp and I took a urine test, and that goes back to 30 days. And it said I didn't have any marijuana in my system at all. So how this came out that I did have it in there from a swab test, which isn't really that accurate, versus a urine test, I think that's how I beat my case. Like I said, I had to go and sit in front of them and go to trial and all this bull crap. But I think something was wrong with their test. I don't know what was wrong with their test, but everything got resolved. I got unsuspended. And now we back fighting July 26th at Little Caesars in Detroit.
You said earlier that people do you the clout now, right? And I saw Chris Cyborg just tweet out. He said,
"Who is that?
A UFC fighter."
Oh, okay.
He said only 5 boxing fights, but already got more KOs than Claressa Shields.
Oh, okay.
That was so random. I'm like, what?
I don't know why she. First of all, I kicked Chris Cyborg ass very bad when we sparred a few years back, and I know now if I was the fighter, I'd knock her out. So I don't know. And then she just fought a girl that was 4 wins, 3 losses, and had been knocked out twice already. So if you want to be technical, since I have to, if you go to BoxRec, I've never fought against a fighter who had more than 4 or 5 losses. Most of the people I fought against is undefeated champions. So when Chris Cyborg can do that, she can like how many knockouts she's getting. But till then, she can go keep injecting that in her face, trying to make her face look softer because she looked like a damn clown every time I see her.
Damn.
I just can't, and then Chris is the op. She wanted to learn so much. Oh, I'm your friend. I want you to train MMA. And then when I turned MMA to start fighting MMA, she wouldn't even come and train with me.
Wow.
But she was like, oh, when you train MMA, I'm going to teach you this and teach you that. She wouldn't even come train with me because I beat her up when we sparred. So she's an op. She should have took that money that them dudes had for us to fight over there in Saudi when they offered me $3 million to offer her $1 million. She should have took the money.
Do you like fighting
Damn, she turned that down?
She's a punk. Talking about, I want to fight at 147, and you're bigger than me. Why do we got to fight at 154? I'm like, sis, let's get some money. What's the problem? Oh, no, I want to fight at 147. Well, I've never made 147, so I'm not going to 47.
Well, what's something about the way women's boxing is promoted that makes you cringe, but you haven't publicly called it out yet?
For me, how they act like putting women on men's undercards doesn't help the women. They keep trying to say, oh, it's not beneficial. But that's how they build their men champions up to where they can become main event fighters. So when I was saying, hey, I want to fight the undercard of Deontay Wilder, Terrence Crawford, Earl Spence, Pacquiao, guys of that nature, I was always being told, oh, that's not going to help you grow. That's not going to help your brand. That's not going to. Yes, it is. If 20 million people is tuning in to see Anthony Joshua fight, I'm the co-main event. At least 10 of them going to be there, or 15, waiting to get to the, so they can see me fight and they can become fans of me. But they act like that's false information when I know that it's true. Because I've seen them do it with the men who I fight better than. That now that these men are getting main event cards, and I'm like, that's funny. He fighting pay-per-view, and I know damn well he can't fight better than me.
Seemed like a no-brainer.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Seemed like
what was that fight? The Taylor Serrano fight? Who was that? That was on the card of
Mike Tyson, Jake Paul?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was the best fight on the card that night.
Yeah, I agree.
We still kicking it with Claressa Shields. Jess?
Your name be in a lot of conversations,
stuff.
You know, not only even for boxing though, but your personal life as well, right? And do you feel like because your personal life, you know, like your love life and everything, like even online, that gets like more publicity than like things like your movie or your fights? Do you feel like that helps or hurts your career in any type of way?
I feel like everything helps. You know what I'm saying? Women's boxing is a very hard market for people to find out about you. You know what I'm saying? Like, I've been the best fighter in the world since I was 17 years old. I'm 30 now. That's 13 years of dominance, of not losing. I got 17 world titles, 5 different divisions, 4-time undisputed champion. I've accomplished everything you can accomplish in boxing. So, therefore, all this stuff that my name being is like, you know what? It's beneficial. I just have to make sure it's going the direction that I want it to go. I want to be Beyonce, okay? I want to be like Serena Williams. I don't want to be like, I don't even want to get no bad examples. I'm just saying it's a bunch. But I want to be like on that caliber of Muhammad Ali. So doing that, I can't entertain everything, you know, even though it may give me more followers, but it's not something that's going toward where I'm trying to go to in my career and in my life, because I'm trying to go to the 50 and 20 and $100 million. And some stuff that I may entertain could stop that. So I don't, my name be everywhere. Every day is somebody else making a damn podcast. It's somebody else making a video. It's somebody else putting pictures. They got old pictures of me, new pictures of me, and pictures of me and Pap. It just, every day is something. And it just takes a lot of mind power to just like, you know what?
Welcome to our world.
I know, right?
Let me just, you know.
How did y'all meet?
We met at Shakur fight, July 6th, last year.
I met at a fight. Wow, okay.
Yeah, that's what I said.
How did you know he was the one? How did you... I'm sure dudes kick it to you all the time. How did you know like he was the one?
He's smooth cat, man. See, the thing is, like I told you, I didn't really like boys till I was 15. So now I've had a few boyfriends here and there. And I remember like Pap, he walked up to me and he shook my hand, which I was like, shake hands.
Who shakes hands?
That was kind of my mind, like, what the hell? And then he just mentioned like, oh, I watched you fight in the Olympics. I'm a fan. I've been a fan. You know, and I was like, well, I fight in 2 weeks in Detroit. You know, if you're free, you should come out. And he like, I'm coming. And I always get that from celebrities, though. They always say, oh, we gonna come. And then fight night come, and then they don't come. So I didn't think he was coming. I'm like, all right, cool. I'm like, we took a picture, which, I'm gonna get to that in a minute. But we took a picture, and I posted it on my page, but it was my second picture because I think G Herbo was the first picture. And then when I posted it, I DM'd him the picture. And I'm like, if you want to come to the fight, here's my publicist number. I make sure you got VIP where you can come to the back and, you know, say hello, whatever. And he was like, all right. So he hit her immediately, and we're all in a group text. And then the day of the fight, he texted her and said, hey, I'm here. And then she brought him to the back. And I was like, oh, he came to the fight. That's what's up. But I could tell, like, you said, how did I know he was the one? I came here to the Breakfast Club last year. He kept saying he wants to go out to eat. When I come to New York, he wants to take me out to eat. And I was just like, why? What do you want to go out to eat for? Like, what's up? And we had been texting back and forth and stuff like that. But he's not hard to read, but he's very like private throughout the text. And so he like, I just want to talk to you in person. So when we talked in person, that's when I was like, dang, I kind of like this dude. And he just was like so kind, so nice. And I think we had a conversation before, like, do you like bad boys or good boys? I like a good guy. All that nonchalant, you the prize. Get the hell away from me. Please.
Knock out, acting like that, don't you?
You messy. People think I hate my men. I don't.
Okay.
I don't.
Have you, though?
Come on now.
You said there's some things he needs to handle? What do you mean by that?
Oh, I mean, yeah, it's the elephant in the room. I don't have to say it.
I don't know.
In his personal life.
Oh.
Yeah, it's the elephant in the room. Like, but that takes time. And like I said, that's not my place to speak on. You know what I'm saying? Like, it'll get handled. I just know that from my perspective, I'm with him every day. And when I'm not with him, we're on the phone every day. And we're talking and we're FaceTiming and we love each other. So that's just kind of what it is. You know what I'm saying? But hey, it's a situation and it is what it is.
I'm assuming you mean like you want to wait till the divorce is like official. Did that keep you from giving your all?
No, because we're together all the time.
So the all is already given, is what she's saying.
Yeah, that's it. We already talk. We talk about so many different things, and I'm 30, so we talk about kids and family and stuff like that. But that still has to get taken care of. But like once again, it's not for me. You understand what I'm saying? Like I'm not married. You know, so that'll get handled. But still, at the same time, I've been like, I'm such a secure woman when it like comes to him because he's proven it to me. Like I was when somebody is just truthful with you from the beginning, there is no secrets. There is just, hey, this is what it is, and do you accept or do you not accept? That's kind of what it was. And he's been truthful from the beginning, and we fell asleep on the phone for 3-4 months of us first getting together. So for us to fall asleep on a regular night and then to wake up to chaos in the morning was like, oh,
see, that's how we found out because y'all was on the damn phone.
But that had been going on for 3-4 months, and that wasn't just at night. We talked from sun up to sundown.
Yeah,
like I said, that's what shocked me because I was like, oh hell, what the heck? Because if we go to sleep on the phone for 4 months every night, and the phone is saying it's 4 hours, 3 hours, whatever hours on the phone, you don't think that one day you're gonna wake up to that, you know? So that's what threw me off. But hey, at the end of the day, look, women are women. I don't know what else to say. Like, I don't have any ill will toward any women, and I don't have any ill will toward her. You know what
so
I'm
y'all
saying?
haven't spoke or nah?
Nah, I mean, she made her post and that was about it. But like I said, women are women. They're very emotional creatures. You know what I'm saying? And I think that was just, I don't know what it was. I don't know if it was emotions or I don't know what it was because I don't know her and she don't know me. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I don't know what that was. But like I said, it wasn't for me. That's why I just responded how I responded. We're going to promote the movie. We're going to promote the fight. Once again, I fight July 26th. Main event at Little Caesars Arena. Tickets on Ticketmaster. 19,000 people need to be there. Last fight I did 12,000. Let's go for 19 this one.
Now I did see in an interview that you said after this year you're gonna close shop down and you want to start your family.
That's what I was ready to ask.
I said the interview. You said you want to start your family. You're gonna shut this boxing down for a little bit. You still on that wave?
Yeah, I want to have 2 more fights this year and then I'll shut it down for a minute.
I don't know if this is a dumb question or not, but look, right? So when guys box, like I hear that they can't have sex like before the fight because it messes up like their, I guess, adrenaline need to be pumped up or whatever. But is it the same with women? Like could you like have sex the night before you fight? Does it mess with you or does it take away from your energy? You're not as amped up? Nah.
I can't speak for the other female champions, but being pound for pound number 1 woman fighter, I don't have sex 4 to 6 weeks before a fight. I don't, and any man I've been with know that.
Gotcha.
Like we can hug, we can kiss, but when it comes to like the actual
penetration part,
nah. And even it's not even about. You said the word penetration, crazy. It's not about it's not about that. It's about orgasm. Can't do that. So there's no type of form of sex for me, you know. And I feel like that gives me what I need for the fight because I'm Claressa, but then when I fight, I'm Clarenzo. And Clarenzo don't want no D.
Has Clarenzo ever showed up in the bedroom?
Excuse me?
Scared.
What's wrong with you, man?
Yo, this.
Here goes Claressa. What?
Not the green lady. No.
Well, there you have it. Claressa Shields, July 26th, Michigan. 16-0 boxer, undisputed status in 3-weight divisions, and we appreciate you for joining us.
Yeah, thank y'all for having me.
That's right. It's Claressa Shields, The Breakfast Club. Good morning. And let's get to the latest with Loren.
Lauren becoming a straight fast.
She gets them from somebody that knows somebody.
She gets the details.
I'm the homegirl that knows a little bit about everything.
She be having the latest on this.
The latest with Lauren LoRosa.
Sometimes she have facts, sometimes she have details, sometimes she have a little bit of everything.
Well, it's the latest.
On The Breakfast Club.
Talk to me.
Alrighty, guys. So I would like to introduce you to Sheree Hayes. This is the Punisher. The Punisher took the stand in the Diddy trial yesterday, and he testified. He didn't wear.
No, he didn't wear that on the stand.
He did not wear this, but he is an exotic male dancer. So this is a photo from his Instagram, and he testified about different sexual encounters he had with Diddy and Cassie, and more explicitly, he talked about a book that he wrote called. A book that he wrote where he talks about freezer meat and not being able to get erect.
What the hell is freezer meat?
So freezer meat is it leans into the term of if something's frozen, it gets hard.
Like rack of lamb in the freezer?
Yeah, but it gets small too.
Or like steak or like chicken, this hard meat. Pause.
Yeah. Tenderloin.
Mm-hmm. No, okay, yes, I guess. But basically, his book is all about how he was having these different sexual experiences throughout his career, and he realized he had erectile dysfunction, and it caused some issues with his mental health because he couldn't, do his thing.
Right.
But the reason why the book came into conversation on the stand was because he actually had talked about Cassie and Diddy in the book. Wow. And the alleged, interactions that he had with them, but he never named them. He called them a wealthy married couple in the book. Now, I've read, there's about 6 pages that is out here from this book.
Give us some excerpts.
I got the excerpts. So he talked about, when he first met Cassie and Diddy, it was at the Trump Hotel in New York, allegedly, and he was called there for like $200 just to do like an erotic dance and set the scene for a woman in like a birthday situation.
And to put his penis in the freezer.
He didn't know that yet. So he got there. He said Cassie opened the door. She's in a wig, glasses. She's beautiful. He's like, oh, wow. And she had a robe on with nothing under it. And that was very obvious. So he says that Cassie explained to him, like, look, my husband likes to see me, he's a voyeurist. He likes to see me with other men. But so all we want you to do right now is just like do a sexy dance with me. Baby oil might come into play. And he may come in the room, but don't acknowledge him. Like, he's not going to get involved and don't acknowledge him. So
that's what made him soft. You got this fine woman in front of you, and all of a sudden, here come
exactly.
Here comes street meat.
Exactly. But you're not supposed to eat the street meat. But yeah, so that's exactly what began happening. So he says that they were doing exactly what they described, and the first time he couldn't get into it is because Diddy allegedly would subtly say these things in the corner, like instructing her.
Yes, that's what he was saying.
He said, because he used to work in the clubs. He's a rock dancer. He said, so he's a little bit deaf from all of the music and the sounds.
What you mean
he couldn't hear much.
You work in the club all the time. It's loud, so you're hearing. Some people, their hearing be a bit off, right?
He said, when Diddy coming?
Listen.
So what he heard?
He said that Diddy would say things. He said, for example, now the husband might be in the corner saying something like to the wife, move to the right. But he'd hear, I bet that a-hole.
Fire.
He said, but he'd hear, I bet that a-hole is tight.
Fire.
Oh.
And it would make him instantly. It would make him instantly go soft.
Okay.
So he was having issues. I sent you if you want to read the real episode.
So Diddy was saying move to the right, and you saying that butthole tight.
That's what he was hearing. So he was like, yo, hold on, this is real crazy. Yeah, so then he said he had this encounter with Cassie. It was great. He alleges it was great or whatever.
Hold on now. You left out a very valuable
Please read.
Yum. I bet his a-hole tight. Yum. Ooh. Yum is crazy.
But he really said move to the right. But he heard in his head,
baby, move over to the right.
Oh.
Exactly.
Oh, see, this ain't right. Y'all said Diddy said this. Diddy ain't say this. That's what he thought Diddy said because he couldn't hear.
That's what I'm saying.
That's what she just said. You're not listening.
What?
You can't hear.
No, I
she
can't.
just said that clearly. He was he worked at a club. He was deaf. He couldn't hear. Diddy said move to the right,
baby,
but he
move
heard
over to the right. Yes.
Man, get this man out the stand.
All right.
Man.
So
you
then
deaf and can't.
Yeah, if y'all gonna play, let me go on the stand and play. I got to play.
What the hell?
Keep going.
Another example is he said that Cassie invited him back another time. She said she was.
He said said that. Diddy said, "I love that position you're in. My deaf interpretation would be, I can't wait to penetrate him."
No.
Get that. See y'all. Now y'all playing that.
There's more to stand. Go ahead, Loren.
I sent you another one.
Stay focused, Loren.
So he said that, Cassie said, yo, I'm really comfortable with you, allegedly, and I want you to come back. We're going to do this again. So they called him again when they were back in New York, allegedly, to another hotel. And he said, but this time he was like, yo, she said she wants it to go further. I got to be ready. So he took a ED pill, a dysfunction pill, right? And because he wanted to be able to, like,
erectile dysfunction.
Yeah.
You can say that.
Yeah, I said it. He wanted to be able to do all the things. So he said, as he was like, getting ready to do all the things with her, he said he performed a Bruce Lick tongue kung fu into the 36 chambers style fellatio act.
What is a Bruce Lick?
I know the judge was like, what the hell are these people into? That's what he said on the stand? That's what he performed?
This is an excerpt from the book. He just talked. He talked about the experiences and went into the book, but this is from the actual book. We went, TMZ and a couple other outlets went and found the book. So he says after that, they actually begin to be able to, like, have sex. And dang, I'm up here stuttering over saying sex. So then he took the ED pill or whatever.
Yeah.
No.
Eventually he was able to
orgasm or finish.
Yep.
And
you referred to his butt as a chamber?
No,
don't refer to nobody's butt as a chamber.
That was the box. He was referring to the box.
It was his tongue.
He was
referring
box as a chamber.
Food. You are not following me at all.
Keep going.
So he said eventually he got to a point where he was, they're actually engaging and having sex, and he couldn't finish. And it was obvious that the couple wanted him to finish. The couple he's saying was Cassie and Diddy, allegedly. So he says he was like, all right, next time I got to take these other pills. So he took a density pill to make it where he was able to get to the end, but it was so dense that he couldn't finish. So he had to drink
a density pill.
He OD'd on the ED pills.
So now you got to take
to make
another pill to compensate for something else, to wake you up a little bit.
No, he was woke. He was too woke. He had to step out the room, Google it, drink some water, came back, and now he could finish with Cassie. This is what he's alleging in the book. Hold on, I'm not. Let me get to the part.
Get to the good part.
So he says he actually got to the part where he. Yes, you do. He actually got to the part where he was able to finish, and he said he was weirded out again and went soft again because he felt like the husband was helping the wife clean up from him doing all the things all over her, and he was licking her clean, and that completely turned him off. And he alleges that he went soft again.
Damn.
So
you're saying
yes? Go ahead, break it down.
It was a whole.
I don't believe this.
Semen Slurpee?
Yeah.
I don't believe this.
Oh my God.
That's according to his book.
I don't believe this.
And Diddy is the drinker.
I don't believe this. I believed when you told
Allegedly.
me. I believed when you told me he took the semen and rubbed it on the nipples. I don't believe this.
Why don't you, Playboy?
The book.
Why don't you believe it?
I don't believe it. What you still ain't telling me where the tenderloins came into play.
No, you're
freezing me.
It's because he's saying like he's having issues with getting hard.
So why would he compare himself to freezer meat if he can't get hard? That makes no sense.
He wanted to be freezer meat. That's the problem. He was saying
he should say that
thing was freezer meat.
If you're presenting this freezer meat, I'm expecting some hard pork chops. God damn it! Okay, why is the hard chicken thighs and breasts? You can't be calling yourself freezer meat.
Semen Slurpee is crazy. Yes. I just want to let you know that's ridiculous.
First of all, the chapter, the part of this book where he talks about this is called the bootleg boy toy. That's crazy. But he also says the first time that he saw that he allegedly saw Diddy in the corner doing all the quiet whatever he was doing in the corner, Diddy had like one of those like the Muslim garbs on his face and nothing else. He was just naked in the corner.
All this for $200
allegedly. No, it ended up being like $2,000 for like 45 minutes.
You said Muslim garb?
Like the Muslim garbs.
Al-Salama eat cum wasn't happening. I don't believe that. I don't believe that. I don't believe it. Now you see, that was a terrible witness.
Well, who's in court today?
I don't believe.
Who's in court today? Who do we know is in court
today? That was the entertainment for the day. I don't believe none of that.
Who was in court today?
Who did anybody verify this other than the Punisher?
Well, Cassie did say that they used to meet up with the Punisher, but she didn't get into all these details.
I don't believe that.
And by the way, he's not called the Punisher because of sexual activity. He's called the Punisher because he used to be a basketball player. And
he posting people up.
He got the nickname.
He was good, had good D.
He got the nickname playing at basketball at the West 4th Street courts in New York, one of the most famous street ball destinations in the world. So they know the Punisher outside. Okay.
Look.
Damn it, man.
Love playing in the backcourt.
And everything. Oh my
Back
God.
you right down. All right. So who else is in court today? Do we know who's in court today?
I do know, but you got to give me a second.
And why are you playing Freak a Leak in the back of this? You're crazy.
We come back.
Crazy.
All right.
Well, it's
that was a
Mr.
waste of
T
everybody's
birthday
time.
too, so
That was
Mr. T.
Okay.
Well, who now after this, who you giving your donkey
I
to?
should give it to the Punisher for that story. Nobody believes that. Diddy a freak. He a freak. Now, we done heard some freaky stuff, but that's just ridiculous.
So you heard all the freaky stuff, but you don't believe that one?
No.
You believe the semen nipple, but only the semen slurpee?
Yeah, I don't believe the semen slurpee.
You don't?
Nah.
They stopped hiring him after a while because he couldn't
finish.
Keep being frozen.
Yeah.
Well, that makes sense.
He
If
missed out.
If you got a taste for man milk that much, you would want some man milk. So if you can't produce no man milk, you are of no value to me.
I can't do the show no more. This is just disgusting.
It's disgusting.
It is disgusting.
I've had enough.
Yeah, I'm done. Where's Boosie's drop when you need it?
I've had enough.
All right. When we come back, donkey today. Don't move. It's the Breakfast Club. Good morning.
Wake up. You're locked into the Breakfast Club.
Your execution on the donkey of the day is something to behold.
Is it a read?
He gave me donkey of the day, and I deserve it.
People need to know.
Well, you need to tell them.
I am.
You have the voice. Tell them. Tell them.
It's time for Donkey of the Day.
It's a read, but you're so good at it.
You're trying to be a fake ass Charlamagne. There's only one Charlamagne involved.
Yeah, Charlamagne, who you giving donkey of the day to now?
Yes, donkey of the day for Wednesday, May 21st goes to 33-year-old Zachary Jordan alum. Now, Zachary is a J6er. Okay, you know who the J6ers are, right? They have other names for those domestic terrorists, Vanilla ISIS, Al Cracker, just to name a couple. But the J6ers are the individuals who participated in the insurrection of the United States Capitol on January 6, 2021. Okay, Zachary was one of those people. And he was also issued a pardon for his role in the January 6th riot. Okay, remember, President Trump issued full commutations and pardons to those indicted and are sentenced in relation to the attack on the U.S. Capitol. Okay, but just like several other individuals who Donald Trump pardoned for their actions on January 6th, Zachary has found himself back in jail. Let's go to CBS 9 WUSA for the report, please.
Sixth Capitol rioter from Northern Virginia who was released from prison after receiving a pardon from President Trump, well, he's now back behind bars. Police arrested 33-year-old Zachary Allen last Friday night. They say he allegedly broke into a home in Henrico County just outside of Richmond and stole personal belongings. Allen was previously sentenced to 8 years for assaulting officers and smashing that same window Ashley Babbitt tried to climb through back on January 6th. We spoke with him back in December from behind bars, and he told us he was, quote, demanding a pardon from President Trump. When asked what he'd do if he got out, Allen said, quote, that's just for me to know and you to find out. Allen is now being held at the Henrico County Regional Jail West.
Keep him. Okay. Trump's January 6 pardons are like expired coupons. Useless and bound to cause trouble at checkout. Okay. You know, for most people, if someone is gracious enough to give you a second chance, then you won't need a third. Zachary got a pardon and then went and broke into a house after you broke into the Capitol and assaulted police officers. That's not a redemption arc. That's more like a sequel nobody asked for. Okay, the reality is people like Zachary are empowered and emboldened because they got away with something like an attempted coup of this country. And because they have President Trump in the office, they feel like the law doesn't apply to them. Okay, that's why consequences to actions are very important, because they teach you that you can't just do things in this country. Okay, this man Zachary clearly didn't get enough of prison, because if he did, or would have gotten that real prison experience, okay, where he had to do that time, I don't think he would just be breaking into houses. Okay, but this is also the same guy who assaulted a police officer at the Capitol, so he really doesn't give a damn about the law. Okay, I remember when Trump's team said, we're only pardoning the best people. Turns out best was short for best at reoffending. Okay, Trump was considering giving compensation to the J6s, and Zachary was one of those ones who demanded a full pardon with compensation. I wouldn't be surprised if there was people who used this as an example as to why the J6s should receive compensation, because they will say, people like Zachary can't find a job. Being incarcerated was a stain on his record, so he had to resort to crime. Now you know how so many black people in the hood feel every day. Okay, welcome to our world. Okay, I can see right-wing outlets right now saying Zachary just breaking into things like the Capitol and homes because it's a good networking strategy. Okay, a way for him to meet people. What a slap in the face to the MAGA movement. Okay, what a slap in the face to President Donald J. Trump. I'm on record as saying that everyone around Trump should be trying to prove people wrong. Okay, don't be the thing folks said you were going to be while you were campaigning. Folks said Trump's economic policies The tariffs could cost people jobs and ruin the economy. So far, so good on that one. We said Trump was going to implement Project 2025, an authoritarian rule, and ignore the Constitution. Check on that one. Folks said the J6s deserve to be in jail. A lot of them already had criminal records, and if you stormed the Capitol and assaulted law enforcement, then you don't give a damn about this country or the rule of law. And Zachary, here you go, proving them folks right, too. And it's not just Zachary. At least 8 individuals who are pardoned by President Trump have faced new criminal charges or legal issues, okay? Pardoned by President Trump for J6, okay, have faced new criminal charges or legal issues. You don't care about your president. If you did, you wouldn't be making them look bad, okay? This is also a very teachable moment because in life, eventually, you will always end up where you need to be with who you're meant to be with and doing what you should be doing, okay? Zachary and a lot of J6s need to be in prison with other prisoners doing time, okay? Henry Rollins once said, you'll end up right where you're supposed to be, okay? Don't be surprised when you get there. Zachary, I hope you're not surprised. Okay, Henry's quote continues, everything you did was a step in that direction. There is no such thing as bad luck. Zachary, you earned your arrest on January 6th, and you earned your arrest now. Please let Remy Ma give Zachary alum the biggest hee-haw.
Hee-haw, hee-haw. You stupid motherfucker. Are you dumb?
All right. Well, thank you for that donkey today.
Yes, indeed.
Now, when we come back, Mikie Sherrill will be joining us. She's running
Congresswoman,
for governor of New Jersey. So we're
actually
going to
leading
when we come back
in the polls.
Yeah, she's leading in the polls. So we're going to talk to Mikie when we come back. So don't go anywhere. It's the Breakfast Club. Good morning.
The Breakfast Club.
Morning, everybody. It's DJ NV, Jess Hilarious, Charlamagne the Guy. We are the Breakfast Club. We got a special guest in the building.
Yes, indeed.
She's U.S. Representative for New Jersey's 11th Congressional District, and she's running for governor, Mikie Sherrill. Welcome.
Thank you so much.
And for the record, we're all residents of New Jersey, so we will be voting. So.
Oh, okay.
We're having this conversation as
so
constituents
the
and
stakes
potential
have
voters.
just been raised.
That's
Got
right.
it.
That's right.
Well, how are you feeling, first and foremost?
I'm feeling good. I'm feeling very tired. But, you know, it's just that time. We have 21 days today until the election, so it's that final sprint.
You said something the other day that, you know, is so simple, and I can't believe more elected officials aren't saying it, but you were criticizing the lack of urgency in regards to Newark Airport. That's what I don't understand. Like, what, are we just waiting for something bad to happen?
It appears so, because it really... the Secretary of Transportation just doesn't seem to be moving on this. And again, you know, I'm a former Navy helicopter pilot. I've flown in really crowded airspace. So in that DC airspace where that helicopter crash happened, I flew through there as we were taking people up from Norfolk to the Pentagon. And I'm telling you, 90 seconds outage in crowded airspace where you've got, you know, people on visual flight rules and then you've got people landing. That's a lifetime. And the fact that that's happened more than once, the fact that the Secretary of Transportation has canceled his wife's flight out of Newark and yet hasn't surged personnel in, hasn't said, here's how we're going to make the system more redundant so it doesn't keep breaking down, hasn't come up with a plan of attack for this. Again, it's just the constant incompetence from this administration, that just not doing the basic work of government is what, as much as anything, is just putting everybody at risk.
Yeah, I saw a statement from him this morning where he said now is the time to install a state-of-the-art, you know, air traffic control system in the Newark. But my thing is, like, you're the Secretary of Transportation, though. Like, do it. Get it done.
Yeah, what is he just saying that, hoping somebody does it? What the hell? I totally agree with you. And if that's going to take a minute, what are we going to do in the meantime? We can't just say, okay, we're just going to take this airport down for the summer. What's the plan until that is installed?
Is it worth shutting down Newark Airport right now?
Well, no, we don't want to shut down Newark Airport. I mean, imagine, like, just think about, okay, people have, you know, kids that are graduating. People have parents that they have to go see that are sick. People have to get around. People have business.
Yeah, I'm a comedian. I travel every weekend. I get on a plane and fly somewhere every Friday.
So just, and I don't know, I love Newark normally.
Yeah,
like,
I do.
I go way out of my way not to have to fly out of JFK or LaGuardia.
Same.
Right? Like,
Same, yes, ma'am.
So the idea that somehow we're just going to take that out of service, no, we can't. We got to fix it. We got to fix the problem.
But in the meantime, like, You don't want people to die. And that's when, we had Mayor Baraka here yesterday, and he was saying that people walked off. Like, air traffic controllers left because they didn't want to be responsible for somebody potentially dying.
Well, they also, in the 90-second delay, air traffic control is really difficult. Mm-hmm. And they, that was traumatic. To be responsible for people's lives, to have flights in the air, and you can't talk to them and just be watching them, as you're like, holy crap. So they are now on trauma leave, many of them.
Wow.
So they are down 20%. And then we saw the reporting. They're supposed to have 11 to 14 air traffic controllers, and they had 2 or 3.
That makes no sense.
It really doesn't. And this is why we need strong Democratic governors. It really is why I'm running for governor. It is so critically important now because as governor, we need to then have partnerships with our colleges and universities that fast track people through the air traffic control training and then just start to surge them in. So governors are now having to take on the work that traditionally we left to the federal government because this is a federal government in free fall.
So if you were governor of New Jersey now, would you, I don't know, would you declare a state of emergency at Newark Airport? Like, what would you do?
So this is the problem as we start to reorient our system, right? So what I would do is immediately stand up a program so we could start to train people, send them to that, fast track them through the air traffic control school down in Oklahoma, get them back as quickly as possible and start to develop this out and have that so that we have our own pool of people. But again, you don't anticipate you don't anticipate that the federal government is just going to start abdicating all responsibility for things. So this training pipeline would take time to get them trained up. But yes, I declare a state of emergency and get that done as quickly as possible, so that we could stand this up and at the same time be working towards, okay, what's it going to take then if you're going to put in place the equipment that's going to be necessary to run these? And how does a governor do that? At this point, I am for a hugely expansive role for a governor because we can't count on our federal government. And even that statement coming out of my mouth sounds crazy, but how do we avoid the facts?
It's the reality.
Yeah.
Some people would say to get things done, you have to work with Trump in his White House somehow, some way. So you wouldn't work with Trump in his White House at all?
Look, if Duffy comes in here and says, okay, I'm going to work with you to actually... I'm trying to think of something that I can say on radio. Unscrew up this situation.
But you need the federal government, right? You do as a governor.
We need to find as many pathways as we can. But I think when people say they want you to work with Trump, because a lot of people say I want my governor to work with Trump, what they mean is I want you to stop him from doing this crazy stuff. I want you to fix the tariff situation that's making my small business go under. I need you to make sure he's not arresting a family member of mine in the middle of the night without charges. I need you to make sure that they're not cutting funds to Medicaid and the Department of Education. So I need you to go work with Trump. That is fair. What's, I think, a false proposition is if you think that by saying, okay, I'm just going to give up on, diversity programs in my state. Like, I'm not going to try to get people in my state to succeed that aren't already there because I'm working with Trump. That's a false proposition because that's when the bullying starts. Because that's when it's, what I say is, it's not as if these law firms that have caved to Trump or these schools that have caved to Trump, that's not going to be the last ask. It's not a one-off thing. Like, okay, I'm going to cave today and then he's going to leave me alone and I'm just going to run my game. That's not how that goes. I say he's like that bully on the playground, right? So you give your lunch money on Monday. They're coming back Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. No parent says, just give your lunch money. Just work with them. I mean, no parent has ever said to their kid getting bullied on the playground, just work with them. Just give in. That's not how you deal with this. And I think it's a false trap to suggest that somehow it's the responsibility of a governor to undermine our values to get something from the federal government. The federal government is supposed to be working in service of the people of this country, not the state government working in service of Trump. I think that's a false idea.
We're still kicking it with Mikie Sherrill. She's running for governor of New Jersey. Charlamagne?
I was watching MSNBC, CNN, something. I forgot which one it was, and I saw an ad that Mayor Barack ran about you, and it said that you took $30,000 from Elon Musk's campaign fund, and that you made millions on the stock market, tripling your net worth while you were in Congress, and you were fined for unreported trade. What do you say to that?
So, I've never taken money from Elon Musk. There were
I thought you took it and then donated it to charity.
People from SpaceX, which was one of his companies, they donate. Individuals from SpaceX donated to my campaign, and I donated in kind to a food bank because I wanted people to know where I stood on it. And I have since offered legislation to have Elon Musk drug tested and to get him out of doging everything. But I also don't trade individual stocks. It's been widely reported. My husband doesn't trade. We don't trade individual stocks. I don't think anyone in Congress should, quite frankly. And I've been on legislation for that. I don't hold individual stocks.
So when Newsmax claims that you made $7 million from stock trades, what are they talking about?
Newsmax is, first of all, a very questionable organization that is paying multiple fines. I'm not sure what they're talking about. I would guess that the root of that would be because some of my husband's payments from his company have been in stocks, which are immediately and automatically sold. But there is no individual stock trading. It's not as if I go sit on the House Armed Services Committee and suddenly I'm trading Boeing or something. There's none of that. I'm totally out of individual stocks. And like I said, I think every member of Congress should be.
Well, did you make $7 million in stock trades at all? Or?
I haven't. I don't believe I did, but I'd have to go see what that was alluding to. Again, what kind of came from.
It was a report in the.
No, I know it was from Newsmax, which again.
And then another one in the Washington Free Beacon, which is a conservative leaning platform, but they said you had increased from between 733,209 to over 4 million in 2019, and then between 4 million to 13 million in 2024. So that's where they got the 7 million increase. It's the average of the two broad asset
They averaged out that, yeah. Look, I both my husband and I come from very middle class families. My parents were the first in their family to go to college, and his were both teachers. And then we both went into the military. And afterwards, he got a good job, and we've been really lucky. I really deeply feel like this country has provided an incredible amount of opportunity to us. And that's why I think I feel a responsibility to sort of pay that forward. And that's why I think opportunity is so critically important. And I often, when I think about what democracy means, to me, it means opportunity. And it means not just opportunity for me, like Trump might say. And it doesn't mean opportunity to enrich myself. It means opportunity for the greatest amount of people possible. I think that's what democracy at its best offers. I love that idea that some political philosophers of democracy have, that you should create a society so that if you don't know how you're going to be born, if you don't know if you're going to be a man or a woman or rich or poor or black or white, you have no idea. You create a society and then get dropped into it. Because if you create that kind of society, then you're going to create something that gives everybody the best chance at opportunity. And we've been lucky. And so right now what I see is a president in Donald Trump who is trying to stop all opportunity, who's taking, who's enriched himself and his billionaire cronies and is continuing to try to do that, and then pulling up the ladder of success behind him. And I see that at every level. And that's why, to kind of take it full circle, I think as Democratic governor, running a state that creates that opportunity, like just with Lionsgate, and creates pathways for opportunity, pre-distribution of wealth. Like what you're doing when you create opportunity and you're trying to create generational wealth is you're creating an opportunity for not just the individual, but that person to then get into a good job and then give their kids the kind of, hey, I'm in this job and my buddy is running the summer internship and I'm going to get you a summer internship. That's the kind of opportunity we're talking about. And that's what I think we have to create in New Jersey. And that's the exact opposite of what's happening in Washington.
I agree. Hold on. I just want to be clear, though, because I agree with what you're saying, but I just want to be clear because this ad is running, and I'm sure you'll be asked about this a million times. So, if you get an opportunity to just clear it up, I think you should take it now. It says she made millions on the stock market, tripling her net worth while in Congress, and was then fined for unreported trades. Is that true or false?
So I think we made money from my husband's job. He gets paid in stocks. They're automatically sold. So I think we made money there. We don't make any individual money stock trading. We're out of all individual stocks because I want people to know that I'm not somehow gaining information and enriching myself because of my work in Congress.
Gotcha.
So that's really important to me. And I think every member of Congress should do that, and I'm on legislation for that. Because those stocks get immediately sold, we do a lot of reporting. And at the end of the year, we did an audit of our reporting, and the lawyers, found a stock trade that had been automatically sold. And so we self-reported it and paid a fine for that. But I think that's what that's alluding to. And so, I was surprised by that attack ad because I was with Mayor Baraka at a debate for 2.5 hours the night before it came out, and he hadn't raised any of this, and I would have liked an opportunity to sort of discuss it there before that ad. But we're in the final 21 days, so I'm sure things will get spicy, but I'm just really working hard to push out what I want to do for people and my positive agenda.
Well, we appreciate you for joining us this morning.
Yeah, man, you got to come back before June.
Yes.
Well, I appreciate you guys
Absolutely.
having me.
And
I
if you do win and become, governor, like I think that you should use platforms like this to talk directly to the people on the regular.
Yeah. That affects, yes.
No, I'll be too important.
I believe you.
No.
I absolutely believe you.
No. I will make a commitment right now. If I become governor, I will be back on your show if invited.
Absolutely.
Thank
I don't
you.
know why you worry about the traffic. You were a helicopter pilot. You might as well just fly the helicopter over
Just
here.
fly right over. Just fly right
on top of the
over.
building. I mean, it is what it is.
Yeah, I don't know what I'm thinking.
Mikie Sherrill, ladies and gentlemen. She's running for governor. Get out there and vote. It's The Breakfast Club. Good morning.
Yes.
The Breakfast Club.
Morning, everybody. It's DJ NV, Jess Hilarious, Charlamagne the Guy. We are The Breakfast Club. Let's get to the latest with Loren.
Loren becoming a street fast.
She gets them from somebody that knows somebody.
She gets the details.
I'm the homegirl that knows a little bit about everything.
She be having the latest on you.
The latest with LoRosa.
Sometimes she have facts, sometimes she have details, sometimes she have a little bit of everything.
What was the latest?
On The Breakfast Club.
Talk to me.
So I'm trying to make it to court. Got to get out of here. But I did want to answer your question. So you asked me who was testifying today. So Dawn Hughes, she is a psychologist who has testified in a lot of high-profile cases. R. Kelly, Johnny Depp, and Harvey Weinstein. Diddy of course, did not want her to be able to take the stand. But she is being allowed to take the stand, and she's going to, I guess, speak to the mental, like the thinking and the non-processing and the cognitive, like, he made this mistake knowingly or not, like those type of things that I guess she's seen from other cases.
How can she do that if she never spoke to Diddy?
They're going to make sure that her testimony is within a certain scope. So when they did that before, they did it with Dawn. They did that with Dawn, where like they were arguing her testimony shouldn't be able to be allowed because Cassie didn't speak to the domestic violence incident that Dawn alleges she saw. But the judge was like, well, we should allow it because it lends into, how he was able to coerce or force or whatever, but only within a certain scope to protect his rights.
I bet you that scope don't include. So if he takes another man's semen and rubs it on his nipples, what does that mean psychologically?
That's just what he liked to do to get off.
That's not how a therapist would respond.
Loren
would be like, yeah, he was doing his big one. Therapist.
Listen, that's how he get out. What am I going to do? That's his own business. Well, that was all of our business. But
that's why I don't think a therapist would respond like that. But I don't think that would be in the scope.
Yeah, I don't really know where they're going to go with her, but we'll see today. And then they're also they got to finish up with the special agent who raided Diddy's home. They talked yesterday about the special agent, and they found like the AR-15s and lube and baby oil and all these different things at Diddy's Miami home.
Oh, see, I want to hear more from them because everybody talks about. I saw somebody say the other day that Diddy was never under investigation. That is just not true. Like there was a whole federal investigation. They raided his house.
Yeah, there's a man named
I remember the son made a song and was like, y'all raided the wrong house. Come back and try
So
next
stupid.
door.
Yeah, that was dumb.
So dumb.
Homeland Security Investigations agent. His name is Gerard Gannon. He started testifying yesterday, and he's going to finish up today detailing the March 2024 raid that they did on the Miami estate. He was a special agent in charge, and he said it was like 80 to 90 agents that were involved, and they found AR-15 rifles loaded with bullets, serial number scratched off. They found sex toys, Astroglide lubricant, and of course they showed photos to the jury of all of these things. And they said that they found the guns in Diddy's bedroom closet in Miami. So, and these were included in the federal indictment. So he's going to finish up and talk about some more things. I'm assuming that they found, and then they are going to bring on George Kaplan, who is an employee that used to work for them, that used to work for Diddy, that alleges he quit after seeing some physical violence or physical abuse. And then Kid Cudi is on the list for today, but they don't believe they'll get to Kid Cudi. And I was told that they probably won't get to Kid Cudi, that Kid Cudi will probably open up the testimonies on Thursday. So there's that. And they've been having a conversation, not in court, but I saw CNN did an article about Diddy's wealth, because as of right now, Forbes still has him valued at like $400 million. I
saw that actually. Yeah,
and Laura Coates, she did a really good breakdown about what happens to his money, because I think a lot of people have been trying to figure that out too. Like, does he still have the money? Does he not? And she had this expert on who talked about, because they didn't mention taking any of his money prior to and any of the search and seizures that they did, everything's up for grabs right now. But basically, it would depend on what they prove in court and how that money came in to support that. Because the big thing that they're leaning on right now is this was an enterprise. It takes money to fund the enterprise. So I'm assuming that whatever they can prove money-wise went into this enterprise, and you know what I mean?
Yeah, I didn't understand. I watched that. I didn't understand it because I'm like, why would they be able to take his assets? Like, I didn't understand it.
From what I took from the expert that was talking was that the assets would come in where I guess like the liquid cash couldn't anymore, because you have to make up for, right, like what you're not able to recoup and what they're saying that you use
Yeah, but
to
Diddy
do the
had
things.
a lot of money. I'm sure freak offs didn't cost $1 billion.
And they also talked to David James, who's was one of Diddy's assistants for 2 years. They had him on the stand, and he talked about being told how to, when he would go buy things that, you know, were obviously not just for work, they would tell him, like baby oil, right, how to put it where it's not being listed as if Bad Boy was paying for it.
Ain't got no petty cash for Astroglide?
Yeah. Oh my God.
So it was personal.
Yeah, that's right.
You
know, and he said he messed up because the first time he paid for it, and they were like, no, don't do it that way.
So he paid for it with the corporate card.
Yeah, so he had to do it a different way. And that same assistant is the one who gave more context to that Suge Knight situation. And he said that, you know, I think I talked about this with y'all yesterday. Yeah, he went into that. But they tried to get, the defense tried to get the assistant out of here too. They brought up a time where I guess he got into it with one of the chefs that used to work for Chef Jordan, that guy that was working for Diddy. And it just sounded like, though, that he became almost like a product of the environment that he was in. And that's what they were pointing to, a lot of those things trying to discredit him. But in my opinion, it sounded like, okay, he was in this environment where all this crazy stuff was happening, and he just started doing what he was seeing. But he testified that he saw, and he was overworked, and that he saw things that just didn't make sense, and that he had to run down on Suge Knight, or would have if Suge Knight would have actually been there.
I was thinking about that. If all of this stuff is true, Suge Knight ain't had nothing on Diddy.
What you mean?
You think so?
Suge
Or do we
Knight
just
has always been known as the boogeyman of hip hop. But if all of this stuff is true, Suge ain't had nothing on Diddy.
Oh, you mean as far as the type of person they are?
Being a boogeyman. Yeah.
I don't know.
Like Bad Boy was Bad Boy for real. Let me ask you a question. Is this trial consuming you, Loren?
Yes. Oh my God. Yes. Last weekend, that's why I went to the comedy show. Dress was great. I went to the comedy show. I tried to stay offline. Not even just the trial, but even the coverage of it, because things are starting to go viral. It's like so many more people's opinions and people calling me, and I'm just like, ugh. Like,
Sometimes
oh my God.
you just gotta release. Just relax and release.
Yeah.
Disconnect.
And you don't gotta
That's
answer
what
the damn phone.
I didn't realize until this, that I don't know how to disconnect. So last weekend was my first time trying. Of like, okay, I'm just gonna hang with my family. I'm not gonna get on my phone. When I post, I got right off. I didn't look at notifications. Normally I engage in my comments. I'm not doing that no more. When I leave the court, I'm getting in my Uber and going home. Like, I don't need to run into no more.
That's what you telling all your babes? So now you ain't gotta freaking try to juggle 3 or 4 of them at one time?
Yeah.
There's
That's
no
what
way
you
she
telling them?
can.
I'm sure Unc don't make it better, huh? Just messing up your babe.
I'm not juggling anything.
Okay.
I am,
Absolutely not. Now you
flowing
can.
effortlessly in one direction, and I'm good.
Yeah, because you threw Diddy into the mix. You don't got time to juggle nothing.
No.
Wow.
Just Diddy, everything.
No, but the people that support me are doing a really good job of making sure I disconnect and I get time off and date nights and things like that. So I'm good.
Thank you, Loren.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
All right, now you head to court now, right?
Yes, I am.
All right, good luck. We'll see you tomorrow. Everybody else, the People's Choice Mix is up next. Get your request in. It's the Breakfast Club. Good morning.
Wake up. You're locked into the Breakfast Club.
Morning, everybody. It's DJ NV, Jess Hilarious, Charlamagne the Guy. We are the Breakfast Club. Now, you got some Chris Brown update?
Yes, I do. They just called me. I had to step out. Chris Brown was just released just under an hour ago.
Okay.
On a $5 million bail, y'all. So
Wow.
he will be home. You know, he just walked out.
How's he feeling?
Days. He's feeling good. He's feeling good. He said he can't really say too much. You know what I'm saying? He definitely want to drag his but he ain't ready to do it right now. But
Just does not talk to no goddamn body. Okay, so please don't run with that.
They gonna run
people
with it.
will run with that.
They
and
gonna
be
run
like,
with it anyway.
What?
Jess Hilarious spoke to Chris Brown and
It's
Chris Brown.
the truth, yes. $5 million bail.
No,
Y'all don't
but you
believe
said
it?
you spoke
I'm the
to
one
him.
that told Daily Mail that it,
No, but you just said you spoke to him.
yes. I spoke to Chris. I speak to Chris all the time.
Oh, okay.
We don't know
Yes.
what Chris you talking about.
All right. So you spoke to Chris Brown and what did he say?
Yes, he said he out, everything is going to be resolved. He want to drag his but he ain't ready getting all that right now.
Oh, okay.
All right. Well,
the exclusive from Jess Hilarious. We spoke to Chris Brown.
give him our best.
Yes.
Salute to Claressa Shields for joining us this morning.
Yes.
Yeah, she has a fight July 26th in Michigan. So
Lanny Daniels, the
That's right.
Australian, the big Australian beast.
Mm-hmm. So we're gonna be so salute to Miss Claressa Shields. Also, Mikie Sherrill joined us this morning. She's running for governor of New Jersey. She's a congresswoman, and she joined us this morning.
Absolutely. She's actually in the lead in Jersey right now as far as being governor. So we'll see next month.
That's right. All right. And everybody else, Charlamagne, you got a positive note, bro?
I do, man. And first of all, I want to remind people to go out there and pick up Dawn Staley's book, Uncommon Favor, man. You saw Dawn Staley all over the place yesterday. She was on Good Morning America. She was on The View. She was on Stephen Colbert. She'll be on Breakfast Club this week. Like, she's just all over the place book trapping. But her book, Uncommon Favor, Basketball North Philly, My Mother, and the Life Lessons I Learned from All Three is available everywhere you buy books now. So go pick that up.
And if you have not got your tickets yet for Mashantucket, Connecticut this Friday, make sure you get your tickets at JessHilariousOfficial.com. I will be at the Foxwoods Casino. That's Friday night. The show starts at 8. Doors open at 7. And then Saturday, May 24th, I will be in Boston, Massachusetts at the Wilbur Theater. Same showtime, 8 o'clock. Doors open at 7. Get your tickets right now. JessHilariousOfficial.com. See y'all this weekend.
And the positive note is simply this. Stop worrying. Where you are right now is where you're supposed to be, okay? Right where you are in this moment, even in all this imperfection and mess, you are right where you're supposed to be. Have a great day.
Breakfast Club, bitches!
Y'all finished or y'all done?